to the guy who did that video, the movie. Because in the movie, the guy never made any commentary about the amount of money the American government pays to the government of the Marshall Islands. And it's significant money. As a matter of fact, it seems as if they were corrupt, meaning the government of the Marshall Islands was utilizing the money for their own use, like everywhere else in the world.
Right.
And then they found out, and the people rebelled, and they got rid of him. But the kind of money they have to pay the Marshall Islands for the destruction of all this nuclear testing and things like that has been phenomenal.
Significant funds.
As a matter of fact, when I looked at it, I was in awe to try to say to myself, how do these people continue to exist like this, knowing fully well that they are surrounded by pollution? In the Pacific, there is a thing called the Pacific Dump, where all the plastic gets there.
Do you see?
They say it's so big.
Robert, big like Texas. Watch that, it can hold the whole Caribbean. The depth below the water to the top is nearly as high as Mount Hololo in Trinidad. The reality, and I want to apologize to all the people on social media. Robert told me in this conversation as a touchdown, I forget to start the video. And now start the video. If only know what they miss. Listen, Robert, just archive your video on 104.7. Make it go. If only know what they miss. But anyway, we're trying to redo and touch again because I'm sorry, it's heat from the moment I start. And there's so much going on. I mean, the truth of the matter is, when you look at this country, Robert, when you look at it and you look at what has been allowed to pass for leadership for all of these years, look out the window, look at the sidewalks, they have grass in the drain. This is Paul Carew Street that leads you to Movie Town from Tragreet Road, Sinclair. This is a busy. This ought to be upper class road.
I mean, road, yeah.
This can't be no low class road. We're not in the back of Lavantil.
But that doesn't mean it's Lavantil low class.
Hey, brother, that's how they behave. I walked Diego Martin with a music truck when I ran for elections in 2015. Robert, I walked from Bagatelle to Caranage. And I have said since that the easiest way to tell when you're in a PNM region, look at the condition around you. As you walk down Diego Martin Main Road and it starts to get better, you're coming into a middle class area. Why is the road, the pavement, the infrastructure cleaner and better there? The people in the area not doing it. Government doing it. Local government and central government doing it. But they know that these people not accepting nonsense. It has come down to the point where
they shout what you want where you want, especially if they accepted that way.
Exactly. Man don't buy roses for women he have. He have that woman.
Are you speaking from experience?
And the flower shop tell me that. The flower shop tell me that. But come back to the truth. Come back. We read something about the SCA, the child abusing SCA. Right now, while we're talking, 20,000 children are being abused by the state. Right now. We are forcing 20,000 children to believe that the positions of good education is scarce. That is fake scarcity.
But
Robert, you're spending $5 billion this year.
It goes back to the point of what I think you were saying, that in our education system, the schools have to all be accepted at one level. You cannot afford to have a school where the young people that go to Fatima
is different, have better education than the people who go into Morva Junior Robert, but that's the point.
But you see,
we've damaged our country.
Agreed, but
Rafiq Shah spoke about this 30 years ago. Rafiq Shah wrote a column, and I will never forget reading that. He said, all of y'all who live in gated communities, the man who running the gate, he don't live in your community, You have a responsibility to make sure that this nation don't collapse. Because if people have no you see the videos in Venezuela with these young people climbing up people's balcony, up the building, they're hungry. A hungry man ain't want to hear about nothing,
I don't know the circumstance, it didn't specify.
Robert, it is hunger driving this.
I didn't say no. I said I don't know.
I will climb up a building if I'm hungry. You too.
I am not saying that I wouldn't, but the point I'm making is that Venezuelan model that they show, as I pointed out to somebody, I said, but they're going to the top of the roof. They're not even entering into the homes. I didn't see nobody try to break in our window.
So where think they're going up the roof for? I don't know.
No, but this is the point. Where are you going to
Maybe they have a
now?
door up there to come down.
I don't know. I don't know. I say I don't know the circumstances, so I can't make
Robert,
any-
across the street from you, the Ministry of Education has spent tens of millions of dollars to build a shell, a steel shell, that was a school before Trinidad was independent. This was a children's school before Trinidad had its independence right here.
Yeah.
Woodbrook Government School.
Yeah.
Yes? And that is going on there how long now? 4 years?
4 years, I think it will be 5 years. this
5
year.
years. 5 years.
I'm not finished.
5 years public funds spent. Where are the children that used to go to that school?
They're all over.
They're all over.
Yeah.
If you wait 5 years, because that is the full input to transition. 5 years, standard 1 to standard 5. You see, if a 1%er watching that corner, this is Paul Carew Street.
Yeah. Can put up a nice building there.
Nice there, man.
It's a good
But that's
thing.
a high traffic location. Next door to AA Lakis.
Yeah.
Down the road from Pizza Hut Roxy. You're facing one Woodbrook place. It have value. What the hell a government school doing there?
Yeah.
So if you could pause, stick a pin, let 5 years pass. So parents stop thinking about Woodbrook Government School as an option.
Yeah, of course.
Start putting your children somewhere else.
Well, the parents-
Now all of a sudden, they could tell you in the parliament, nobody don't really enroll in the school no more. So we putting it for sale.
The parents really have done nothing since the school started to build. They've got quiet because they started to see what was happening. But stick up it. Recently, in April, and I'm going to talk about this feeding thing a little bit. Right? Recently in April, I saw in the newspaper 6 portions of land, 99-year lease, E-Tech. I wrote the Minister of Trade the other day because I said in my letter to her, I can't understand. In 2015, when I met with you, when I was at a particular position in a different organization, I said to you we needed a piece of land. We needed about 75 acres. 4 of the 5 pieces of land that they put up for sale, that Ernest and Young, I think, is the front, where you had to put in your bids for a 99-year lease. One is 350 acres and the other 3 pieces are 70 acres to 75 acres. Enough to do something for developing Trinidad and Tobago into a different economic time. Because we are not going to see any manufacturing taking place in this country for the next 50 years. Unless we create and find something in Trinidad and Tobago we can manufacture here, raw material. You talked about it the other day, pitch. If we could take the pitch and convert it into something else.
Guava juice, pepper spray.
What about condoms?
We could
pitch?
make pitch condoms, yeah.
Because it's rubber.
Glow in the dark.
My point to you
You're in
is
a
not
mood
that.
today.
What I'm saying is, they put up that to sell, including, over the weekend I looked at the building they break down, which is the old Central Statistical Office, and I'm asking, why the hell coming Robinson Red just give the instruction to break that down? One healthy, strong tail
Was
building.
that our building?
It belonged to the state. The state bought it from Guardian Life. When Guardian Life went down the road, they bought that from them.
You see, every time the state owns a building, Robert, you are robbing people who have buildings to rent their friends in government.
Okay, but I don't want to...
No, but you have to, because you see, the people will listen and think that it's government by accidental verbs. It's easy to excuse a man for stupidity, you know. When you have to realize that you're dealing with somebody who is utilizing a direct approach to robbing you, that's a different thing.
But that's why I want to make the issue about the Workers' Bank building and the IDC building in the bottom. We have a organization in Trinidad and Tobago called TUCO, supposed to be one of the leading charges of our cultural revolution, in an old stinking building wrong in Belmont that they're renting from some party hack for about 20 years. A former mayor of San Fernando, I understand. And they're in this little latrine place. You can't even get a car park. To tell you how bad it is. And when you walk into the office, okay, it's not bad. The atmosphere is okay. It's clean. And then, but when you walk in there, it's like if you're going into an apartment building that has prostitution taking place around it.
Derelict.
Derelict looking all the way around. In Belmont. And the TUCO has been there for how much years? You have this big stinking building belonging to the IDC that was there before. You let it fall apart, vandalize. You put it up to sell it now. Who the hell do you think going to buy it? The man who got the money. Because if you and I go and tell them, hey, we're going to take it over, we're going to fix it and we're going to do this, no.
That's what's going on.
We're not interested.
But Robert, that's what's behind this fake recession. Robert, that's what's behind this fake recession.
So I wrote the minister about this piece of land because I have a dream to want to build a motor racetrack in Trinidad and Tobago for years.
Right.
That's why I went in and took over the presidency of Trinidad and Tobago Automobile Sports Association.
Right.
Took it from not being operational, got the previous government to reopen the track.
Right.
Together with Frankie Boudram and myself, we were able to get the ministry to resurface.
I know, I remember hearing ETEC say, oh God, but just give him man the land here, Robert, and give me a break. I remember that you real fight for that.
And we got it.
You got it.
All these guys who now in the motor racing place, if it wasn't for me, they'll never get there.
Understandable. But,
and like all things else, they kick me in my backside.
What's going forward with that?
Well, going forward is to try to get this piece of land. Now, the state wants to sell these pieces of land on a 99-year lease to some individual. Unfortunately, they didn't put a closing date in the document. I'll show it to you before you leave. And when I called the company, Ernest & Young, they tell me, they don't know that those dates are closed. I said, but they didn't have a date in the newspaper. She said, well, it wasn't supposed to be there, you know. It's when you collect your package, we would tell you. Convenient BS again. So I've written to the minister, and I've copied the Prime Minister, and I want to see what the hell they will do, because they're talking about deepening the economy. And motor racing is a good and profitable business.
I don't know if you were listening to the show yesterday.
No, how were listening to the show?
But we were,
want the judge to put me out of the court?
We were talking about the amount of people that are connected to this country and sport.
Of course.
If you were to take,
I heard that part when you talk
if you take National Lotteries Control Board, Robert,
very good point,
and peg that to sport, you know what's going on in this country? World-class cyclists, world-class track and field. Trinidad will qualify for
the money.
We had the money.
And you now have the talent.
And now you can tell people, boy, play right now. Even if you throw away the money, you're helping sport. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Instead of the National Lottery Board giving a little handout to one of their friends or something.
Somebody is get $50,000 a month to maintain the little triangle outside Crystal Stream Church. And all they ever do is pop that sign maintained by.
You're serious?
Absolutely.
You can't get the contract?
Listen now, you in the PNM? Them is PNM people. Them is PNM people. Directors of that company, when I exposed that right now, tell me, Philip, I was part of the foreman of the company, but I resigned. So that is a company that have no directors, but getting a check every month. 25
minutes after 11 o'clock, that time check comes through the kind courtesy of Rodney's Supermarket. Rodney's Supermarket, 2 locations in Arima. Go on out to Rodney's and support them. They are definitely that place in Arima. They get all kind of meat, including rabbit. Yes, we pay some bills. When we come back, we'll rejoin the program.
The place you need to be is the Boss Soup. The Boss Soup is open every Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on Sunday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. 6 locations nationwide. Number 48 Trowbridge Road in Port of Spain. At Westby's in Diego Martin. Corner of Prince Street and El Carmen Street in Arima. Two-way road junction, Sangre Grande.
This commercial
in Shogunas and inside Atlantic Mall, Point Lisas. Check us out, the Boss Soup. If it's not the boss, it's not the best. For more information, call 389-4455.
It's the night before Mother's Day.
The night where one color
Saturday, 12th May, one place, one people.
You know, anybody want to go to a good party? Black is a good party.
So.
Have a VIP section, drinks and pizza, 500. Or regular, 200. Pass it out in your...
I will. Send me the info.
When we come back, I want to come back with these speeding things for a couple of minutes. Because imagine the timing wrong with Savannah.
The timing in Nova.
The timing over in Lydia.
They're running on money. They're running on money.
That should be under the Commissioner of Police, right?
293-1145 and 772-2661.
Kabukis Black Event.
Courtesy 104.7, the official station for Kabukis Black, powered by High Level Audio.
You ever eat rabbit? I can't bring myself to eat that rabbit.
Yeah. When I went to China, I eat a piece of beaver. I don't know what the hell it was, but the Chinese made sure they told us what we were eating. I think about 30 years ago.
Don't think twice. Super quality will never be beaten on price. Conveniently located at Trin City, Hoover, and Endeavour Road, Chaguanas.
Why this man was still there on this press boy? The blue shirt club.
Look out for our weekly specials. For further details, call 223-9715. Super quality, never beaten on price.
"29 minutes after 11 o'clock, that time check comes to you with a kind courtesy of Hearty Foods. Hearty Foods located out there in Arima. And don't forget, people, lots of specials by Hearty Foods. Hot box $20 daily roti special, or the hot box barbecue special $25 and $35. There's 20, 25 and 35. Roti or barbecue. If you're a drinker, White Oak, 2 bottles, 750 ml, $170, $85 a bottle. If you like beer, 5 cases of beer and up, you get a special price. Go on down there and find out. And if you're a lover of leg and thigh, you know where to go. Hearty Foods. 3 packs of leg and thigh for $30. And to those of you who want to enjoy entertainment at home, Magnum Portable Power Speaker, $1,450. Hearty Foods and Ashley's, located in Arima. Go on down and cash in on the bargains. Okay, I was saying to Philip on the break that I wanted to spend a little time on this speed situation. I'm ashamed for the Commissioner of Police, acting or otherwise. I think, there are so many things you can do. Common sense must be one of the factors that make you a Commissioner of Police, whether acting or otherwise. And if you don't have common sense, you should definitely take the opportunity right now, at this particular time. If you don't have a typewriter, a computer, a printer, call me, 738-3943. I will just type up the letter nice and thing for you, address it to whoever you want me to address it to. I'll put your name in the bottom. I'll come by you. I promise even to go and deliver the letter. It will be a 3-line thing. I, so-and-so, hereby tender my resignation with immediate effect. I wish to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to serve, but I no longer have the capacity, competence, or capability to do the job. Thanking you for the time. Yours truly, signed. It's simple. I have that letter set up on my computer, so it's just a matter of cut and paste, as they say. It wouldn't take me long. As a matter of fact, I'll walk with a portable printer if you want me to change it, because I have the technology. I'll change it on my phone, and I'll be able to download it and print it one time wirelessly. So you won't have a problem. And I have a nice small printer I can walk around with. So here what? How idiotic it is for you as a Commissioner of Police to endorse and enforce speed testing over the Ladium. One of our staff members here got a ticket for $1,000 coming over the Ladium. The Ladium? That is the level of competence you have as a Commissioner of Police acting. You so damn stupid. You so dotish. You so intellectually constipated. Is that the best that you could do when we have a case that took how much? What I told you this morning, people? 31 years for a case to end for a man that robbed a soft drink vendor and a parlor since 1986. And you sitting down there in your glory office, just living off of the fat of the nation for serving and doing nothing. That could really make sense. 90-year-old people getting killed now, and you can't even find the culpable person. And the same stupidness, email gate still going on. And don't talk about all the other things. Prison gate, you can't come to no conclusion. Policemen that do wrong things that's still in the service. And you have all the power, because they're changing legislation to make sure you have the power to fire. it seems as if they really have a...
You see, I want to tell you this, Sarah, what? If I could stick a pin for 1 minute. People labor under the misconception that the government can't correct the police service. And I want to expose the foolishness of this because I've been trying to get Trinidadians to Google, download, and read the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And I just want to put this quickly into the public space. The police service exists because a law was written that speaks the police service into existence. You understand that?
Yeah.
The Police Service Act. There must be a law that is in harmony with the supreme law, the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. The Parliament is spoken into reality, by the Constitution. The President, the Prime Minister, the terms and conditions. The Parliament is what represents all the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And it is the Parliament that has the power to write law. The Parliament has the power, if the 41 of them agree, the Parliament has the power to amend the Constitution.
Obviously.
The Parliament could undo and redo the police service. All this first division, second division, third division nonsense that you hearing all the time. Decades now. Rogue police, corrupt elements. 6 months. 6 months the New York City Internal Affairs Department says it will take to beat the bush and run the rats. That's how they say it, you know. The rats will go running. I tell them, somebody say you're not going to get cooperation. He said, we don't want cooperation.
No, we don't want cooperation.
We don't want cooperation from criminals.
enforcement?
Exactly. He said, we know how to get our information, friend. And this is the reality. We've never had a government. We've never voted a parliament that wanted to clean up the police service. It is manifestly dysfunctional.
It is.
You have an internal police complaints division. You knew that?
I didn't know that.
That is a mirror of the external police complaints authority.
Is it?
Those two things exist. Two different things. To listen to the Hansard, to listen to the debate, when they debate about the police service, and I ask myself, is it that they're trying to say that when they meet in that hallowed space, that they're standing on an unstable platform trying to hit a moving target in the dark? You're trying to tell me not one single person could come to the parliament and say, there are countries in the world where their police service function.
You don't understand. The chairman of this is Hines. How you expect him to
Oh, don't
work
tell me
here?
that, no, man. You just cuss and insult everybody listening
But
to the
that's
show.
the truth.
Hines is a jackass.
Hines is the chairman.
He is a jackass. He watch me. In a jackass race, he's number one.
Oh, good. You sure you can win?
Listen, man. Let me look at Robert, but come back on point and be serious. To the 41 members of the parliament listening today, this is your job.
They're not interested.
Robert, this is what they were elected to do.
This is what I was telling somebody.
This is
earlier.
their job.
Earlier today, I was telling the guy that one of the things they don't understand is the Constitution. When you go up as a person for election in a constituency, you don't go up there as a party.
No.
And people don't understand. You go up there as an individual.
The Constitution does not recognize parties.
Correct.
There is only one asterisk amendment in the Constitution to remove you if you fought on a party's ticket. I think it's 49C with an asterisk. But other than that, there's nothing in the Constitution that recognizes political parties. The 41 seats in the House do not belong to a party.
Doesn't.
They do not belong to a person. They belong to a constituency.
Correct.
The Speaker of the House recognizes Maruba Tabala.
That's why every
The
time-
Speaker of the House recognizes Diego Martin.
That is
West.
why every time the speaker gets up, they'll always call it to order and say you have to refer to the person as the member of parliament.
Of course,
the area.
of course.
And the people of the
Of
country
course.
don't seem to understand that.
And the nonsense that
They
people...
don't say the PNM member.
No, but you see the nonsense that people putting pictures with Maxi and his bicycle helmet and saying, look, Maxi's still alive, Philip, look, Maxi's still alive. I happy Maxi alive.
Yeah, but that was
But I am saying, provide a fit for work certificate.
Yeah.
The people deserve representation.
That's different.
This is the highest court in the land.
Yeah.
The parliament, if properly constituted and functional, could make Trinidad better.
Obviously.
You cannot continue to call
It's
what
like,
happens.
it's like the judiciary.
Robert, you cannot continue to call what is happening in this country as representation and government. You cannot continue. Robert, a member...
31 years for a case.
You want me to raise that? You want me to see that and raise it? We playing poker?
Yeah, let me go.
A member of the Progressive Empowerment Party, her sister, a senior member, Lorena Lucien, she was a police officer. Her sister, when she was a teenager, went to make a report in a police station and was raped by the senior officer inside the station. And that case took 17 years.
And what's the results? What happened with it?
They found him guilty.
They found him guilty.
But 17
Yeah,
years,
yeah,
Robert,
too long.
they
The
had,
amount of people he
they
could
had the
destroy.
mattress.
Yeah.
They had this piece of sponge. They even had that. And I asked the question. First day of the matter, there's the victim, there's the culprit, there's the mattress. What did they do for the rest of the time?
Yeah.
What took 17 years, 363 days?
And I hear you, Philip. And I understand that this is the point where I was making this morning. I wanted to drive this point home for the people at Trinidad and Tobago that listen. That the problem in Trinidad and Tobago is you, the people.
Robert, get the Chief Justice, a functional Chief Justice, and a law association to agree. You see, you need them to agree. But you could write law that regardless of whether or not they agree, you're going to have to disturb people. You know, Gloria Steinem said the truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off.
Yeah.
In Trinidad and Tobago, our court system seems to have been designed to fail.
Yeah.
We have no case management. I am speaking to an international compliance officer from a global bank yesterday. And she is telling me, she said, I am on assignment in Trinidad. And I cannot believe what banks get away with in Trinidad. She said what banks do as business as usual in Trinidad, someone would have been jailed for in Canada.
I wouldn't know that.
You
I
understand?
wouldn't know that.
Understand what we're dealing with. A country where if you talk about the court system and you understand that you could say as law that the judge has a responsibility to the case. You see, when you're watching Law and Order and all those shows and people stand up to beg for an adjournment and the judge not interested in that, you have to have a real reason to adjourn this case because there is a clock on the case.
Yeah.
There's a clock running and the judge is judged by his management of that clock. The judge knows he has 5 years for this criminal matter to work its way through his system.
Finish.
And if 5 years pass and the case not done, the case could get tossed. And he, as the judge, failed. And that goes as a black mark on his record. So the judge is foolish.
In Trinidad and Tobago, we unfortunately.
Robert, when you in a court and you hear, Your Honor, the witness is a police officer. This is the 3rd time and he has not made himself available. The magistrate or the judge have the authority to issue a bench warrant.
Of course.
Go and pick him up and bring him here.
And not only that, the magistrate could review the nature of the case, and if it's a speeding case or a parking on the wrong side case, could say, dismissed.
Go and bring him here. The lawyer not here, look at bench warrant. The second
Bring him
time,
here.
bring him here. Wherever he is. Because you see, with case management, the lawyers will know. Robert, I want to tell you something.
Yes.
I want to tell you something. This is disgusting. What I'm about to say here is disgusting. They have lawyers in this country that work for the appearance fee, you know.
Yeah, of course, we know that.
They're like a calypsonian at
They're just
carnival
waiting,
time.
they're just waiting.
No, but they don't mind that a case that could be solved in 2 sessions take 13.
No, because every time they get
Because
money.
$3,000
Yeah.
are in court. $90,000 for a matter that should have cost $5.
I understand. Anyhow, just to come back on this whole position of the penalty, because we want to go to this issue of global medical in a little while. Remember, people, I don't understand what the commissioner is instructing, because somebody had to give instructions, and he must know by now. Because if he doesn't know, he's not managing. At the end of the day, he should be able to know how much was the income from speeding, from parking, from
Move
wrecking.
beyond that. Tell the parliament, make the police service functional or fire yourself. Fire the parliament. Put a parliament. Robert, it starts there. You keep asking me where it starts. It starts there. The police service is non-functional. The parliament job is to fix it.
Well, I must give credit though, Philip, that I think the parliamentary committees is trying to help fix it. I don't know about your view, but I've looked at it, and some of those people who are involved in the parliament, I think we are seeing them really doing things.
Have you ever heard the term critical failure?
Yes.
And escalating a commitment to a bad decision? They have only so much wrong you could put on top of something else before the whole thing collapses. The police service is a mess. I have police officers writing me and telling me that they have not been paid for months. Police service. Robert, the police service is the only people in this country that wake up every morning and go to work to put their lives on the line for everybody else. I ain't painting all the police officers with the same brush as the corrupt officers. I know we have corrupt and rogue elements. The PCA director, David West, called the police the biggest gang in Trinidad.
He did.
But I know that there are good and decent police officers in that service. And those people wake up every morning and say goodbye to their wife and their husband and their children, and not knowing if they're going to reach home. They are the front line of this country's defense.
And more the reason why I'm saying that if these people, in view of the...
Robert, we run out of time.
In view of the things that we need...
I want to give you some information.
Yeah, but before I get to that, in view of the things that are necessary, we have to tell ourselves that we have to start somewhere. You saying start with the parliament, but you starting with Mount Everest. I really want to start with Honolulu Hill. I am calling on the Commissioner of Police to take these useless people. I know nobody that got killed on the Aubrey Jeffers Highway. I know nobody.
Which one is that? The foreshore?
Yeah. The piece from by Peaks down. I know people getting killed by traffic light by Peaks. But on the piece of highway going down to the stadium, I know nobody that got killed there.
Robert.
And I'm not making excuses. I broke the rule. I was 13 kilometers per hour over the speed limit. It's supposed to be 80. I really thought on a highway it was 100. I didn't read the rule, and they have never really promoted the Aubrey Jeffers. It doesn't even have signs on it.
Robert.
But the worst part is, coming over the lady young, you charge her. Now, they're hiding around the savannah. Wrong the savannah.
Nobody desperate for money.
Wrong the savannah, you're going to charge somebody?
They're desperate for money.
What kind of idiots we have?
Robert, they're desperate
and
for
you
money.
the police service too, you stupid policemen that outside there that go to do that. Tell your boss you're not going.
What you have between 9 and noon this Sunday? If you have not to schedule that, and let's take these things apart. I want to tell you something here. Could I?
Yeah, go ahead.
The 2 hours it took for 4-year-old Natalia Samuel to be taken from Cedros Health Center to the Point Fortin Area Hospital may have been one of the major factors leading to her death, her mother, Basde Lal Raghu, said yesterday. Health Minister Terence Dialsing last evening said he could not comment on the unavailability of the ambulance service to pick up the child at the beach unless he knew who the family contacted on Sunday. Robert, I have so much information. I just want to give you what I could in this 15 minutes. In this 15 minutes, I want you to hear this. You hear some of this that's going on with this global medical response. The multi-billion-dollar contract for a national ambulance service by Global Medical Response of Trinidad and Tobago is under review by the Attorney General's office, says Health Minister Attorney General Terence Dialsing. Global Medical Response Trinidad and Tobago owes the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago money for failing to provide the service and the number of ambulances, and no minister and no ministry could continue to go on paying $30 million a year and they're not fulfilling the contractual arrangements, said Suraj Rambachan in the parliament. Dialsing said he too was concerned by Global Medical Response Trinidad and Tobago's contract. When I looked at the contract, this is the health minister on his legs in the parliament. Robert, I have reams of paper, and I want Global Medical Response to understand that if I have to reach a Privy Council with this case, I am not stopping. Dialsing said he too was concerned by Global Medical Response's contract. When I looked at the contract, I immediately sent the contract to the Office of the Attorney General for the attention of Minister Stuart Young to look at, because the concerns you are raising, this is bipartisan, I flagged them, and the Office of the Attorney General will advise me. Rambachan asked the minister whether he was aware that Global Medical Response Trinidad and Tobago has been making this promise to supply new ambulances and bring the fleet up to speed for the last 2 years. Dialsing said he was told that there are ambulances under construction, as he stressed that the bigger issue is whether the country was getting value for money with the contract. Are you prepared to continue the waste, corruption, and mismanagement in the Ministry of Health in this regard? Asked Rambachan. Young interjected. I think the minister has already said it's been sent to the Office of the Attorney General. We will review, and we will take what needs to be taken, the steps that needs to be taken. Nothing.
The CYA
Cover
minister.
your own ass. Minister of Propaganda.
Yeah. The same thing happened with me and him with NIDCO, you know. I asked him for the information that he talked about with regards to the money that we're supposed to get back from Brazil. And he's supposed to send me the file like 2 years ago.
Amalgamated Security. owns Global Medical Response.
And that again.
Amalgamated Security, Prisoner on Justice on Time, Prisoner Transport, owns Global Medical Response. Hear this. Everyone has seen the manner in which Amalgamated Security Services Limited and the police transport inmates, everybody sees the speed. They break lights, all this sort of thing is happening on the road. How is that in the best interest of public safety? Gordon called for a full investigation to be done to determine how the contract was awarded.
Gordon?
This is the Prison Officers Association President, Seron Richards, and the Secretary General, Gordon. We also want a full investigation into the awarding of that contract. We want to know if the tendering process for that was applied. We want to know if it was legal, if it was a sole tender. We want to know everything that surrounded the awarding of this contract. We are totally disgusted by the direction of the government of Trinidad and Tobago. This is the Prison Officers Association. Very little has been disclosed on that contract. We ourselves are looking for answers. What we are trying to say, there was no consultation between the government and the Prison Officers Association whatsoever, and that contract came like a thief in the night. Hear the words the man used.
But I want to just tell you one thing that brought to my attention recently about that Amalgamated. When they dropped the tender documents, like with Global Medical, the tender documents is structured
framed a certain way in the United States, and I will tell you more about that.
And it's developed in a way that
it limits.
nobody else
Of course. It's a ruse.
Yeah.
It's either that or like when the flag was being made, you create two fake company and one real company, so the two fake company don't qualify. Hear this. Just imagine a garbage collector gets knocked down crossing the road on Chumamonka Road, PT Valley at 7:10 a.m. while collecting garbage. The police arrive at 8:10 a.m., that's an hour later, and find the gentleman laying at the side of the road, covered by a blanket, and a good Samaritan standing there with an umbrella. The man cannot move because his legs are clearly damaged and unable to move. It then takes the ambulance until 10:20 to arrive to take the man to the hospital. The man was knocked down 3 hours before. Listen, Robert, if I tell you, this is what I got, and this is a matter that is going on. There's a defamation claim by Global Medical Response of Trinidad and Tobago. I instruct, this is between Global Medical Response Trinidad and Tobago and Philip Alexander. I instruct Mr. Michael Kwamina, who acts on behalf of Global Medical Response of Trinidad and Tobago, and I refer to the caption, GMRTT is an emergency medical services and ambulance provider born out of a joint venture between Amalgamated Security Services Limited and American Medical Response, a provider of ambulance and emergency medical services in North America. In or around March 10, 2017, via your highly subscribed Facebook page, you authored and published the following statement with respect to Global Medical Response, which is wholly defamatory. This is what I said. For the $92 million we give Global Medical Response Trinidad and Tobago annually to provide 25 ambulances, as disclosed by the Minister of Health, we could buy 164 brand new, state-of-the-art, fully built and outfitted units, 4 each for every constituency, and assign them dutifully to fire stations in each and every constituency, control them by one centrally professionally trained paramedic call center. It could be located as far away as India, believe it or not, and still be more functional than what obtains here. Monitor them via GPS tracking through the National Operations Center. Provide additional stretchers at the hospitals for a quick swap out at the Accident Emergencies Department, and do a far better job and cost far less than what we get for what we currently pay, and still leave over $10 million as change. Imagine that. There can be, and this is what I said, and I don't want to repeat that here because I don't want them to write you. The fact that many of our citizens have died as a direct result of this company's failure to provide what it was contracted and paid for should be the justification for an inquiry, if not an investigation, into not only the operations of the company, but the terms and conditions of the contracts granted, and all public office holders who might have benefited over the years as well. Robert, I am here to tell Trinidad and Tobago this morning, and this is what I told people: there is going to be an announcement, and this is the announcement. We are calling on every citizen who has ever had a problem with the ambulance service, if you ever called for an ambulance and they took more than half an hour or an hour to come, message me. My phone number is 682-2110. Don't call me to chat, because when everybody calling me to chat, I can't take all the calls. But send me detailed messages on 682-2110. I want your name, I want your address, I want your phone number, not your address. I want your name, your email address, and your phone number. Send us a brief detail, and the team will contact you. Anybody who has lost a loved one because of the failure of the ambulance service to arrive, contact us as well. Robert, hear this. An elderly woman died on Saturday. This is 8th of April. This is a month ago. While this case going on, while they're trying to shut me up, every minister in the government, every member of parliament keep asking the question, how the hell does this contract still exist? You're supposed to provide 75 ambulances, you provide 22. We have people on our team who used to work for Global Medical Response. We have rosters that the country being charged for 65 ambulances and 17 on the road. One night, a team responded to Sangre Grande, Piarco, and Diego Martin, and then crashed. The ambulance driver and operator ended up in hospital because they're all over the country like madmen. When you could put 2 ambulances in every constituency, boom. When you call for an ambulance,
shortest distance,
and it coming from Piarco,
just like the police.
An elderly woman died on Saturday. I just want to wrap this up. An elderly woman died on Saturday when she was pinned in the wreckage of a vehicle that slid off a slippery road in Plumbital and crashed into a tree. It took more than an hour before the police and the paramedics arrived. I just want to tell Trinidad and Tobago this. And I'm calling on everybody who has ever had a problem with the ambulance service. We're doing this in your name, and we're suing them for financial compensation for everybody. We will be filing a lawsuit against Global Medical Response Trinidad and Tobago Limited, against Michael Aboud, Paul Anderson, and the Ministry of Health, Trinidad and Tobago, individually and collectively, on behalf of all of those who have lost their lives or lost loved ones due to the negligence as a result of both Global Medical Response and the Ministry of Health, to provide a proper and functional emergency response paramedic and ambulance service as outlined in the contract. I am saying this today because this morning I learned that Global Medical Response has filed an injunction in the High Court trying to restrain me from speaking on this matter. I appeared before the courts last 2 weeks, and they asked if I would voluntarily be gagged. And I asked the judge, I said, Your Honor, this is a matter of free speech, and we have evidence to back up everything that we say. Global Medical Response is attempting to behave as if this matter has already been adjudicated upon. We are pursuing this legally. We are bringing the equivalent of a class action lawsuit against them on behalf of everybody who has lost loved ones. And that's a lot of people.
All right, well, that's where we have to end today's conversation. Remember the speeding thing, I am frustrated with it. I don't know about you. I'll be calling on you to support me for, we'll block up a few roads. Let me see what we can do. If the police could close down Trinidad and Tobago, the citizens could do the same. And we need to...
Why we don't have a day of total citizenship?
No, we need to do that.
A day of total citizenship, yeah, I like that.
I'll be calling for that. Because at the end of it all, people, just remember something. This is your country. While we have to follow the law, there must also be enforcement of what is needed by the population. One can work without the other. We pay some bills. That will bring us to the close of today. And then, of course, look out next week when we'll be back. We want to thank all of you for your support. And we look forward to your continued listening to M1047. The lunchbox is up this afternoon, so stay tuned.
To all of you watching us on social media, we wrapped up here for the day. We'll continue later on the live video. At tonight's live video, we will continue this after Frontline. All of you who would like to get involved and help, my number is 682-2110. Message or WhatsApp me. Please don't call or private message me on Facebook. Stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.